Hello everybody. This is your reading, everybody's reading for the full moon eclipse in Leo, which will happen around 20th, 21st of January, depending on where you are. You may notice that I am in a different position at the moment. I'll put my crystals down there, just one second. It's because I thought it'd be really nice to have a little bit of a twinkly background with my bookcase at the back and just kind of see what information we can get from over here for you guys. Now this is for every single sign, and I will be going into a little bit of detail as to how this full moon may affect us on a spiritual level. But if you would like to know how this full moon eclipse in Leo, big supermoon, will affect you personally, email me lorientarot@gmail.com and we'll be able to get a reading sorted for how this eclipse is going to affect you for the next 6 months, because eclipses always go for 6 months. This one being a supermoon, this is going to be for 6. So do let me know again if you'd like a reading on how this will affect you going forward. Alright, but this is a general reading. This is going to encompass everything to do with glorious Leo energy and how we can best utilize that in ourselves, in our lives, and just to get a feel as to what's actually coming through from this. So I'm going to be using the Earth Magic Oracle deck by Stephen D. Farmer, and I will be double checking, just the energies that have come through from this, just to feel kind of what's going forwards for us all. All right. I may have to just readjust. Hello, all the way in Chicago. Wow, welcome, one and all. I really, really love, on a personal note, the fact that I can actually talk to people from wherever in the world. I think it's a modern miracle of, internet and community and all that kind of stuff. And I just looked at the timer and it said 222. So there we go. There's something already synchronizing up, I think. All right, so the first card that we've got, River, movement. Interesting. Okay. So this particular card to me means kind of taking the good with the bad, rolling with the punches almost, having this feeling of accomplishment wherever you go. I also feel like with this pertaining to the full moon in particular, I'm just going to put a little candlestick there so I can illuminate this card a little bit better. I also feel that with particular sense to the eclipse as this is happening, I know it's about 10 days away. I know people probably aren't really considering, what to do to prepare for this big, huge, major event to start off this year. But I would hope that some of you would consider movement as something that is fluid and something that is sort of, you're always going in the right direction. Now, the thing with this lunar eclipse is that it's quite a major event, as I just said, but it's stronger. This will focus on your attention and your emotions, and your whichever house Leo is in is going to have some light shed on that. And I feel like this is for you personally in your chart, whichever Leo is in, whichever house you have in Leo, this is going to be full moon, illuminated, also in regards to the sun coming through and shining that light even more intensely. So I think that's going to be something that we can sort of gravitate towards in a way. I mean, this feels a lot like it's something that we can encompass it. We don't have to stand still and watch as things happen. Leo would rather us continue on. Leo would rather us change what we need to change. And Leo would rather us explore and be in the spotlight. And that's what I think issues are going to be illuminated. I feel like in the highlight of this full moon eclipse, this is going to be an issue related event, basically. So if you are feeling overly emotional, or if there's something, you're going to have the spotlight on that and you can resolve that, or you can have a look and see what's going on. Yes, there has been a lot of Leo eclipses, and you know, a lot of things in Leo recently. And like I say, depending on where it is in your chart, this will affect you in different ways. But you may experience, I would say, emotional outbursts from, emotional outbursts from family or some friends. Now, wolf instinct, I would say, and look at the similar colour of these cards. This is very rare, actually. They're very muted. So whereas you would automatically perhaps think, oh, you know, Leo's big and bold and everything, this is quite an interesting combination. I think that this is saying that we need to get grounded for this full moon, but wolf is very much about a solo person, you know, solo wolf, solo, what's it called? Lone wolf, that's it. But I feel like, you know, you may notice your loved ones are suddenly trying to goad you occasionally, because I think that you may be on a different path than your loved ones and your family. So it could be that you feel like you're actually taking a different stand or having this feeling of confusion about where you want to go. Now, for some of you, if you are Leo, it will be slap bang in your first house of self. For others, it may be in your career, in your personal life, in your finances, even. So this could be something that you're having to sort of look at and prove that you have a very strong instinctive nature within that, because I do have an impression coming from these cards, and also the feeling of growth that I got here is that you are still moving on your individual path. Leos are very individual, and I think that this is kind of giving you the event to say, look, am I on the right track, or am I wanting to renegotiate where I'm going? So I think that there's a lot to come from this in general. I feel as though there's quite a lot that we can learn, from everything on this particular moon. I mean, I'm a moon child myself. Being a witch, I adore the moon in all its phases. But this full moon is where you can really attune to your heart's desire and achievements. And something that I would say for you, I just got a little bit of crystals here. There's a little bit of crystals that you can actually utilize for this full moon. Now, the first is red jasper. Now, red jasper is a very strong crystal for your root chakra, and it has a lot to do with grounding yourself, healing that sort of old wounds that may have been there from childhood. And I feel like red jasper will help you ground yourself. Like, this is muted, very, very grounded energies. So that's one option. You've also got sunstone, because it's not just about the moon, it's about the sun's light and how it's going to affect the moon. So it could be sunstone or goldstone, something to help still see the light of the situation and not be kind of overly illuminated. Because sometimes, you know, when you wake up in the morning and somebody's put this big light on, or there's, you know, the sunlight shining in your eyes, that can be very disorientating. So it's something that I think, you know, you need to ground yourself within that light. And if something has shone out too brightly for you, or if you've been overwhelmed with a lot of things, I think goldstone could help you with that through this full moon. This is instinctively, just before I started this video, I picked up these three crystals, and obviously moonstone. Moonstone is wonderful for women because we are linked to the moon. I would say that moonstone often comes along when it's needed. So if you happen to have some moonstone, maybe just hold it in your hand on this full moon and just have a look and see what it is that you can bring in, or what it is that you want to intuitively follow for the next 6 months. Now, how this will affect you, again, it depends on your personal chart, but I think the main thing is that we're all trying to navigate the world as it is now, and we may suddenly feel like we are on our own and nobody else is going through the same thing. Leo is here to say that yes, you may be in the spotlight, but this is something else that you can instinctively understand within yourself. Oh wow, here we go, new beginnings. There is something that you can actually draw from this as to being something that you can attain power. You can bring yourself up on various different elements here. So if you wanted to look at your finances, the full moon is really good to sort of meditate on that. If you wanted to look at your relationships and how emotionally healthy they were, this is also a good time to do that. The full moon gives you opportunity. not like the new moon. The new moon is slightly different. The new moon gives us an opportunity to see how we can grow. The full moon shows us where we've been, but how we can adjust in the near future. So I'm just going to move these cards out the way a second. But dawn and new beginning, I think that's really, really strong for everybody to kind of get a feeling of. This to me brings forward so much energy. It's a case of when you communicate, don't make it empty. When you communicate, make sure that it's with the heart. When you connect with somebody else, make sure it's not just virtual and on the surface. Try and make it meaningful. Trying to make it beautiful. Try to make each and every single moment of, whether, oh, I don't really want this phone call, see what you can do with it. Unless it's somebody asking about PPI or something like that, just see how you can make it work for you. Because I do think that even if we don't necessarily want to speak to some people, if we'd rather not have that conversation with a friend, just analyze that. You don't have to pick up the phone necessarily, but just analyze why you don't want to do that, because that could be a thing for you over the next few weeks and months, and hopefully not the rest of the year, but it could be something that you have to learn this year. This new beginning is something that you can take into account and run with. This is something that you can really utilize for your own benefit. And I am just going to grab some cards, different cards for you, but just, if you need to, pause the video if you're watching this on back, but take in this card, because this to me, more than the other two actually, the instinct, yes, you may be on your own, and the movement, you need to continue moving, but this to me emphasizes the Leo eclipse. It is a new beginning. Maybe we haven't felt like the new year has started yet. Maybe we've been waiting for February or waiting for the 21st until these two eclipses are done with, because it's heavy energy. It can be light energy. It can be whatever energy we want to make it. So while I get some cards, just ruminate on this a little bit. And yes, I will be doing some sage. I just brought the last of my sage over. Now, these cards, I use them a lot in the Patreon videos, which you can, if you want to see my weekly readings, you can become a Patreon. But this is Whispering Woods. I got them for Christmas by my friend in New Zealand, who is a Leo, actually. So it's fitting that I'm using her cards that she bought me. So I'm just going to shuffle these. Purple seems to be a colour that's coming to my mind very strongly. Very deep purple. So this is all to do with your third eye, making sure your intuition is in touch with, what you want to do. Line your chakras if you can. Again, these crystals are really good for doing that. Mostly to do with the root or the first three chakras, but nevertheless, I honestly feel like this could be of great benefit to you. All right, let's see. Oh, it never ceases to amaze me. Okay, so grounded. Again, I mean, what are the odds, really? Keep to your roots, root chakra, and stand taller than the trees. Now, there is a great grounding meditation even, on YouTube. If you just look up tree meditation, I think it's with an Australian speaker, and it always helps me to feel refreshed and come out of any funk that I might be in. If you're too up in the air, mentally speaking, if you're sort of always focused on something different, or the problems, if you ground yourself during this full moon, not only will it help you navigate the eclipse energies over the next few months, but it will also help you see the direction in which you need to go next. And I honestly believe that this is all kind of surmounting to something that you can really utilize and absolutely storm. This Leo is adventurous. It feels like it's got a good energy. It's a testing energy, yes, but something that's kind of going, hey, maybe gently poking you and going, you want to look at this thing? You think you want to maybe want to look at this over here? And it's up to you as to whether you want to take that calling. It's up to you as to whether you feel like it's going to be something that's utilizing for you and for your benefit. I'm just going to do some sage to cleanse us and help. I mean, you can even re-watch this on the full moon, to be honest, so you can get your sage bath via proxy of myself. Also, do let me know what you think of this new setup as well over here. I've got my little bookcase in the background, and it's more intimate, I feel, anyway, because I'm actually on my old altar here. This is where my altar used to be. Okay. Just sending you lots of blessings. Oh, and the wind just really got up outside. It's wanting to storm, I think. Let's put that in my cauldron. So yeah, the Leo full moon eclipse. It's about new beginnings. It's about being grounded, obviously. But also it may be that you feel like you're on a new path, or you're on an isolated path, or you're trying to figure out where you're going. Either way, it can really help you. It can absolutely help you. You can use it to attract abundance. You can use this full moon to attract anything you desire, to be quite honest with you. If it's in line with what you want, you can call that to you. You can absolutely say, look, this is what I want. This is what I want to bring in. And I also feel like, you know, maybe affirmations will help you. I have faith that I can attract abundance in the ways that are right for me. So there you go. That could be something that you really want there. I have faith that I can attract abundance in the ways that are right for me. I thought, got sun on the brain, rays, sunshine. But I do feel as though this is going to change a lot of things. It could be in the, next few weeks. You could see a change in February, as to how things are going and how things develop for you. But I do honestly feel change is on the way. It's like a change is going to come, that song. I'm not going to sing for you because you don't need to hear that. But it does feel as though there's more intimacy coming through, more understanding coming through from this. Leo likes to feel loved. Leo likes to feel comfortable and at ease. And Leo absolutely feels like there's something that brings forwards and has that sort of connection that just, wraps its arms around you and says it's okay. I did just see a question about what's for Mars in Leo. I can't do it off the top of my head for now. I have all my book and my notes and thoughts on that. But it also depends on where in your chart it is, where, what aspect it is going to light up for you. And how far away it is from the moon on that day. So again, I will just repeat for anybody who's new, I am doing full moon eclipse readings. All you have to do is email me, lorientarot@gmail.com, and I will happily go into detail about how this will affect you for the next 6 months. So just let me know if you're interested by giving me an email. But I do also think that a lot of this is to do with our symbol of who we want to be. Are we a legend? Are we trying to be somebody who's memorable? Are we trying to leave a legacy here? Are we trying to become somebody who's grounded, or are we trying to develop our skills and shoot into the stratosphere? Because Leos are all about spotlight too. You may have seen one kid, or even been that kid, who was always up and down singing and wanting to rouse everybody, or the most animated in the school play. So they probably had a lot of Leo in their chart. But it does seem like there's a lot to come for us. And I'm just going to get another card here, actually. I'm going to do it in 3. The middle one wants me. I've just been saying this path. Wander on the path less travelled. What you might find might surprise you. Sorry, what you find might surprise you. So again, being the loner, having this road less travelled feeling. Maybe it's something that you've always wanted to do but always feared doing it. Maybe now's the right time. But do let me know in the comments below how things are going for you. If you'd like a lunar eclipse reading. See, Leo tends to make you want to go 100 miles an hour, so I'll redo that. If you would like to know how the Leo eclipse will help you, or even if it's just a general reading or you have a specific question you would like me to look at for you, absolutely send me an email, or you can click on the links below. Or if you'd like to become a patron of mine and have a look at the weekly readings, the link will be down below as soon as this is uploaded. I apologise that because I'm doing it on my phone I can't do this as easy as normal, but fingers crossed we'll all have a wonderful time on this full moon. Sending you lots and lots of love and joy, and I look forward to speaking to you all soon for your February readings. Take care, everybody.